Hello everyone, this is James the Nerd King, and welcome to the Block Attack Guide. Now, this guide will teach you all how to do block attacks, hopefully quite regularly, and all the little tips and tricks that I found while doing research into this. Now, in order to properly explain how to do these, I am going to have to use actual commentary rather than just some text boxes, so hopefully you can bear with me and my mic problems that might pop up. I know that I haven't got the best settings, and I'm not the most professional, but I believe that the information in this guide is worth your time, and I implore you to please watch until the end. So what exactly is a block attack? Well, a block attack is basically when you perform any animation while blocking at the same time. This is quite typically seen in-game with the use of shield poking with rapiers, spears, and lances. However, this technique allows us to do it with every single attack. As seen above, you can see that with the block attack you have the shield extended, indicating it has been achieved. However, I should probably also mention about now that we can do this with just two-handed weapons as well. So, this is a step above all the other techniques I've seen so far, which have only allowed one-handed stances. Now, to perform these block attacks, there are two techniques. There's the backstep technique, which I will go on in detail as soon as the video loads up. So, in order to do this, you need to hold block the whole time, backstep, swap stance, and then attack. So, showing again slow-mo, block, backstep, swap stance, and basically as you're turning around, you attack. It's not exactly frame perfect, you do have a margin for error. So anyway, next is the rolling technique, which may be better in some situations as it gives you a bit more range for your attack. So basically, you just roll, swap stance, and attack. It's quite similar. So in slow-mo, and just showing now, this animation where your butt is still on the floor is about when you want to swap stance, and hold block the whole time and just attack when you're out of the roll. Now that's basically it for the technique, so let's just go on to some other weird stuff that I happened to find while doing research onto this technique. And this is the weirdest part about it all, and I'm not sure why this is, but for some reason, if you are wearing certain chest pieces, or no chest piece at all, you will basically never be able to perform this technique. I don't know why this is. It might be something to do with how much skin is exposed, I thought initially. However, I did the jester top and it doesn't work with that as well, so I don't know the exact list of what doesn't work, but I can say that a majority of the ones I did try work. So, just to prove it here, this is what I was doing the whole time. Swap shirt and it works perfectly. So, yeah. Now, another cool feature is you can do block L2s, which is basically a parry for most weapons, and also some specific things like the Bewitched Alonso, which allows you to mess up stabbing yourself. You're not gonna die! Now, another cool thing is this works for left-handed weapons. Like, I know. In fact, sometimes it even makes the timing better and more reliable. This can be judged by you if you try it, but if you're doing a left-handed build, it works like that. And you don't even need a shield to do this technique. You can actually just do it with two weapons going into the two-handed stance, as long as you're holding the button that would be block once you're two-handing the weapon. Obviously you can't do this into the one-handed stance because you are no longer able to block. So just a cool thing for any users of dual weapons. Now, funnily enough, this also works if you're doing dual shields, but it works a little differently. So you see, during the swap between two-handed and one-handed, you have to change which button you're blocking with to the appropriate shield. So, for example, if you're doing what I'm doing right now, two-handed to one-handed, you need to go from blocking with the R1 to blocking with the L1. So yeah, it's quite difficult. Just saying right now, there is no point in trying to do block attacks with the spears, rapiers, and lances I mentioned earlier, because they already technically have this and it overwrites the block attack. So just keep that in mind. Also, you cannot do this with bows and crossbows, because instead of blocking they have a zoom function, and that just messes up anything, so don't try it. So before we go, there's some stupid animations that you can perform due to this, especially in the two-handed form. I thought I'd show them off for you to admire before I close out this video, so enjoy. So that's the end of this video. Or is it? Nope, because a week later, after I finished the first draft of this block attack guide, I discovered how to do the other block attacks that I did not know how to do previously, such as the block running attack, the block rolling attack, the block jump attack, and the block guard break. So we're going to go through all those now, and they're not much different from the other ones. All the little notes from before all apply, but we're just going to go over these. Now these are probably some of the more useful versions of the block attack series, but they're also quite difficult to pull off, so bear with me on this one. So first up is the block guard break. Now this is likely useful for anyone who's trying to turtle poke you with a rapier or spear or lance from behind a shield, as you can tank the hit and still guard break them. However, I have not tested this, so I would not know. So, in order to do it, it's basically the same as doing a regular block attack, except you just do the guard break action instead. Now, next is the block jump attack. Now, this one is probably not so useful beyond the extra range you get from the momentum in order to perform this technique. However, you do have decreased range of your actual weapon due to the block stance, so I'm not sure if this one has much practical use for a one-handed weapon. So in order to perform this one, you have to use the rolling method or the new jump method I've discovered. Which, for the jump method, which I'll show right now, is jump, swap weapons, and then do the jump. So showing again, jump, swap weapons, do the attack. And just showing with the rolling method to prove that it does work. So next up is the block running attack. Now this is not a very useful technique in its current state, because you either have too much forward momentum or you have too little. And when you see the techniques, you understand why. So the first one is based off Nyffenschwander's original block running attack guide, which relied on a very obscure mechanic of having to run out of stamina with the last attack being a jump attack. Now this one does not require any setup like that at all. However, it does seem to require you having a suitable pair of gauntlets. It's kind of similar to how the regular block attacks require a suitified chest piece. Now I don't know why these mechanics exist, but hey, it's Dark Souls, what do you expect? So, these ones I have tested and they do indeed work. So, in order to do the first of the two block run attacks, based off Nyffenschwander's technique, as you backstep, press block twice rapidly and instantly turn around. Now this does not work 100% of the time, but it is semi-reliable. Now the other method is through the jumping method I explained earlier, and again, you do require the gauntlets. I don't know why it doesn't work without them. And I should actually mention, you do still require the regular chest piece to be able to do it. So you require at least both of these. I don't know if the helmet piece or the legging pieces affect any of the techniques at all, because I've tried completely naked and I've still been able to do some of these. So, first of all, you just get in your stance, jump, swap stance, and attack. Now, the timing is a little iffy on this at the moment, but it is semi-reliable when you get it right, and it also allows the two-handed version, while the previous technique does not allow you to do it two-handed. I believe this is probably because the recovery between block inputs is slightly longer than that of a shield, and therefore you can't do it properly. The final technique is the block roll. Now, this I've only been able to find works through the rolling method, quite obviously, but I haven't really tried it much with the jumping method, because technically the end of that is a roll, unless you're wearing the butterfly leggings, or just top. I'm not quite sure which one prevents you from doing the roll. So, this one has to be absolutely frame perfect. Like, I can only probably get this thing 10% of the time. It's really unreliable, but probably the most useful, as you can still turn around with it. And it has the most reliable range of all of them. But yeah, I don't know if there's any factors like with the previous techniques in order to get it to work more effectively. It's not the leggings. I've tried with multiple pairs and it's worked with all of them, including no leggings at all. But yeah, if someone could do some helpful research into this one for me, I would greatly appreciate it. I want my guide to be fully up to date, if possible, with any techniques. But as you managed to see, I did manage to pull off one block rolling attack. It is extremely difficult, so if you can get a timing, good on ya. So, thank you all for watching. If I find anything more, I'll update this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!